Hey guys, welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm going to teach you how to make black beans and rice. Now this recipe has been like one of my favorites since I was really little, and I was a really picky eater when I was really little, so that's kind of saying a lot. It's an easy recipe. It's something that's really simple to throw together if you ever aren't quite sure what to do for dinner. It's also super filling, so that's awesome as well. And the ingredients all together aren't super expensive. So I'm going to teach you how to make it. So I'm going to start by dicing up some pepper and some onion. The recipe calls for 1 to 2 tablespoons of each. I like to add extra pepper because I like to add a little extra vegetables to the recipe, just because I feel like it's healthier. So I'm just going to dice them up into some nice small pieces. Okay, so now that I've chopped up my vegetables, I've now heated a tablespoon of olive oil over a medium heat until it's nice and hot. I know it's hot because when I added a little piece of onion, it started sizzling. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my bell pepper and my onion to this. There we go. And I'm going to saute those a little bit until the onions start to go translucent. Alright, so my onions are starting to go translucent around the edge, which means that it's time to add my garlic. So normally this recipe calls for 1 clove of garlic, but I don't have any cloves. I just have the minced kind in a can. But if you look on either the side of the jar or on the lid, it says that a half a teaspoon is approximately 1 clove of garlic. So I'm going to add half a teaspoon of this minced garlic. And I'm going to stir that in. You want to be really careful not to burn your garlic. And that's why we add it a little later than everything else, because we want everything else to get the chance to cook and soften up, but we don't want to burn our garlic. So the garlic is pretty well cooked in here, and the peppers and the onions are also pretty well cooked, which means that it's time to add our black beans. Now I add the black beans and the juices. You don't need to drain the juices. You add it all to the pan. Alright, so my beans and my juices are in there. They're starting to get bubbly, which means that it's time to add some seasoning. So in here I have just a little dash of oregano, and I have half a teaspoon of chili powder. I'm going to add those in. I'm also going to add a couple cracks of black pepper. And I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar. Normally this recipe calls for cider vinegar, but I ran out, so I'm going to be using red wine vinegar. If you don't have cider vinegar at home, you can use red wine, you could use white vinegar, but the cider vinegar is definitely going to be the best option. And I'm gonna stir that all in and let it cook for a little bit until some of the juices reduce out of it. Alright, so while I was preparing the black beans, I also prepared some brown rice. So now I'm just going to show you how I would serve this up. So I'm going to take a little bit of brown rice in the bottom of each bowl. I'd say this should make about 4 servings. A little bit brown rice in each bowl. And then I'm just going to divide up the beans between each bowl. There we go. And then usually what we did when I was little was we topped this with a little bit of Parmesan cheese or some grated cheddar cheese. And that's it. That's black beans and rice. So let me know if you guys tried at home. Maybe surprise your parents with a dinner or something. I'm sure they'd really appreciate it. I know they're all probably just as busy as you guys are, but give it a shot. Let me know how it goes. I'd love to see how it turned out.